that, but now commandeth all men everywhere to repent. So I guess before we open this up, Paul was at Athens, and he was in a place where only these great philosophical people are. I mean, you had to be of a great mind to even stand in this place. So this was an awesome door that was open to Paul. You know, I mean, this is where the greatest thinkers, you know, of the world stood to declare their revelations. And for Paul to have the opportunity to stand up on Mars Hill and declare the gospel of Jesus Christ, this is one of the greatest things in biblical history that had ever had happened, for a Christian to stand in a place like that. And what he declared should be forever imprinted in our minds. He said that I notice your devotions, I notice your dedications, I notice how you spend your time, I notice the things that are important to you. He said, but in my noticing them, I'm noticing that you're worshiping to an altar of the unknown God. That word unknown is agnostos in the Greek, and it's related to the English word agnostic. And it literally means to not have an opinion about it. In other words, it can be or it cannot be. It means to take a demilitarized zone. It means to take an area. Well, I'm not going to say that it's God. I'm not going to say that it's not God. Now, you know, the Bible calls this being lukewarm. But not only was this lukewarm in this instance, but this was also a place of idolatry and ignorance. How many of you know most idolatry is rooted in ignorance? Paul didn't say that they knew who they were. You know, there were a lot of gods that they worshiped to. He said there's one place that you're worshiping. He said you're ignorantly worshiping. And that's why we want to deal with this thing on secret organizations. And is it okay for Christians to operate in this realm? And I'm going to start out, Brother Danny, by asking you real quick to give a little bit of background concerning your experience in secret organizations.
Well, my experience in secret organizations started when I was around 21 years old. And I was in my second year in college, and you see the different sororities and fraternities, and seemed at that time, you know, I wasn't saved, and it seemed like the fraternities, the Q Dogs and the Kappas and the A Phi A, they had all the girlfriends, and they influenced on campus. And so quite naturally to most young men is not, you know, walking in the God's ways. You know, that's one of the leading things on their mind as young ladies. And so, and you know, having some type of influence among the brothers. And so, you know, I watched that, and I noticed it, and but I just couldn't take the whoopings that they was getting. So what I did, I kind of, you know, noticed that all of the fraternities went on to being Masons after they pledged the fraternities. So I figured if I was going to do that, I was going to skip one step at least. So I just went ahead and joined the
well, let me ask you this question, because I want to get to some specific things. How long were you involved in the Masons, and to let everybody know, you know, how long did it take you to get to the position that you got to, and what was the highest position that you got to, and then what did you do in that position?
Well, you know, masonry, you know, you can go all up to a number of degrees, but, you know, I was the highest level I got was up to a 32nd degree Mason. And it took me about maybe 8 years to get to that point. And that's going through a series of initiations, and that's going from a master Mason and taking different types of oaths and initiations, and going up and learning certain things. And from that point, then I went on and began to teach Masonry to other people and recruit other people for Masonry. And it took me about 8 years to get there. And once I got there, you know, you just, you know, basically.
But what did you do to young men? I mean, when you got there, what was your assignment as far as you